We have Attorney Michael Yusinko of the Ateneo Policy Center joining us live via Zoom. Attorney, thank you for joining us.
Nice to see you again.
Good morning sa inyo dalawa at good morning sa lahat ng mga viewers and listeners ng programa nyo.
Alright, Attorney, the last time we spoke, turuan pa rin na nangyayari about sino ang guilty sa flood control. Right now, turuan pa rin ang nangyayari. And this time between Senator Escudero and Congressman Romualdez, what do you make of this back and forth and how will this impact both institutions?
First of all, sabihin na natin yung lahat ng nasa isip natin na what we're seeing now is really a sad display of the quality or the poor quality of lawmakers that we have in both chambers, the Senate and the House. Na they will not hesitate. They will not hesitate to use their positions either to promote themselves or to disparage others. So nakakadismaya that these are the kinds of lawmakers that we have today. Unfortunately, binoboto ng taong bayan yan, and we're stuck with that until the voters really change the people they elect to the Senate and to the House of Representatives. Now, how will that impact yung reputation ng Senado at House? Then, well, it's going really to drag the institutions down the mud further, na nakikita ng taong bayan na ganitong klase ang mga mambabatas natin. They are using their positions to essentially magbangayan magpahira ng putik sa mga mukha nila, not doing their jobs at all, which is right now ang trabaho nila is to make sure that our country is on the right path to development and secured from external threats and internal threats. Right now, ang nangyayari is parang nagtuturoan na parang bata, di ba? Ikaw may kasalanan, ikaw may kasalanan. At the end of this sarsuela, no pun intended, at the end of this sarsuela, ang kawawa, yung taong bayan, right?
Yeah.
Nanakawan tayo, pero yung mga pinaghihinalaan natin magnanakaw, nagpapasahan ng sisi.
Correct. A follow-up lang doon. If you remember the playbook of the late President Marcos Sr., essentially that's what happened also between yung mga chambers of the House then, ng parliament nila. Nag-aaway ang mga legislators natin to a point na he dissolved it and took control via, well, of course, it led to martial law. Now, parang may similarities in the playbook, dividing the houses, dividing the legislators. Do you see certain similarities in playbooks?
I can understand that the suspicion, the suspicion because of who the president is, but I'm not sure, or I wouldn't go as far as say that there is a playbook being implemented here. I think what we're seeing is more of really the poor quality of the lawmakers that we have, that they are not true statesmen and stateswomen, that because they are dynastic lawmakers, they are more, they lean towards keeping themselves in power, and sometimes that means denigrating other dynastic lawmakers. So, para sa akin, this is more about really yung kababawan, really the poor quality of lawmakers that we have, rather than a sinister playbook being employed.
That's a very
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a very strong observation. Poor quality of
parang
lawmakers.
Naawa naman ako sa sarili natin.
But we have to take note as well that it's not just Escudero and Romualdez that are finger pointing here. We also have VP Sara Duterte, who was also present yesterday at the Senate for the budget deliberation. She even had a press conference at the Senate, 'di ba? Making accusations or echoing accusations at the former House Speaker. And meron din tayo nakitang mga photos na naglabasan of her with senators who support her. So what do you make of this? Are they, sending a message to the people that their bloc is strong at the moment and there is going to be something ahead of us or something?
I think certainly it's their behavior is they're basically performing for the peanut gallery. No? They're performing for their own supporters that kami pa rin, solid pa rin kami. But the reality is the Duterte brand or the Duterte group or however you want to call them, they are struggling now. They're being challenged now because wala silang pinuno wala silang someone that can guide them against the other side, no. So yung mga nakita natin mga photographs, yung mga press con sa Senado and yung mga drama na kahit yung budget ko ibigay mo na sa kanila ay sa OVP, these are all performances for their own supporters, no, to keep the faith or to stay with them while they are facing these challenges in the political arena. But I don't think this is something na that can cause alarm para sa ating lahat, no, because right now ang problema natin mas malaki pa doon.
Exactly.
Mas malaki pa sa
yun nga, na-divert yung attention natin sa finger-pointing nila
That's what I wanted to ask you, Attorney. No? A lot of people have been saying instead of a fight against corruption, it's ending up as a fight between the Duterte brand and the Marcos brand to a point na, di ba, if you're a believer of the PBBM brand, automatic sa'yo, corrupt yung kabilang side. If you're a believer of the DDS brand, automatic PBBM ang side ang corrupt. How will this, do you think, all unravel at the end of the day? Will we get to the bottom of this?
Certainly, we hope so. No, kasi when we get stuck with that kind of binary thinking, that basically get them all scot-free, no? Kasi lahat tayo nadidistract, lahat tayo, we become partisan participants there. We forget na lahat naman sila may kasalanan Right? Lahat sila ang involved dito sa pork barrel cartel na to. It's either side is complicit in the budget insertions, in the ghost projects. Wala sa kanilang inosente. Let me put it that way, no? So whatever side that you are supporting, you have to realize that complicit yan dito sa problema natin. And hopefully, yung investigation ng ombudsman, my hope is, I'm pinning my hope on the ombudsman kasi yung ombudsman will be the one who can deliver what we want and that is jail time for the dynastic lawmakers, for the corrupt bureaucrats, for the contractors, and also recover the ill-gotten wealth. That cannot be delivered by Congress. That cannot be delivered by the ICI. Diba? Only the Ombudsman and the DOJ can bring those outcomes that we desire, that we want.
Pero yun nga, no, crucial yung pag-appoint ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ng ombudsman. Until now, we don't have one yet na talagang in-appoint niya. And there are front-runners, pero sinasabi nila mukhang mas nakakiling daw ngayon kay DOJ Secretary Boying Rimulya. But going back to investigation, I'd also like to ask you about the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, yung ICI, who recently recommended filed cases nga dito kala Zaldico, DPWH officials, etc. And through their spokesperson, sinabi nila hindi sila magkakaroon ng live streaming or publicized na hearing or investigation. And a lot of people are questioning that right now, saying na transparency, mas makikita namin yung accountability through transparency. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, from the very start, I never had confidence on the ICI, no, because from the very start, I already registered opposition to that because it was never going to be truly independent, no? Because it's a creation of the executive branch.
Correct.
It's a creation of an executive order, no, issued by the president, no. So the fact that they're saying now that they will not be transparent and that they will not open themselves to public scrutiny, that just confirms my initial assessment of it, no, that it will probably be used to shield the president from all of these prying eyes, no, na gusto natin malaman sino-sino ba involved dito. The ICI will be the instrument to sort of distract us and just focus on certain personalities. Which is what we're seeing, di ba? Na nag-file sila ng cases against certain personalities. Kasi the reality is, Angelo and Angelo, the insertions are contained in a budget law.
Yes.
Which means the president, the Senate president, and the speaker are responsible for those insertions because their signature appears on those budget
Right.
laws. So, hindi pwedeng hindi sila kasali sa investigasyon. And definitely, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin that the president is blameless. Right?
That's right.
Because the president signed those laws where those insertions were contained. No? So that's my impression of the ICI. No? I never had confidence in it that it would be truly independent, and now my initial assessment is, well, proving to be correct.
Well, Attorney, some said na dapat in-explore ulit yung usapin ng isang commission or something similar to that of PCGG na hindi limited sa infrastructure but corruption as a whole. Kasi you brought up the point na whether or not a president is guilty, the signature is affixed on documents that lead up to corruption. So there's always that accountability. So do you think dapat na lang a constitutional commission similar to the powers of COMELEC na may fixed term ang isang individual or yung chairman, yung chairperson doon para hindi siya compromised?
Well, Diego, we already have that constitutional office to take care of or to be responsible for kumbaga anti-corruption measures, no, or mechanisms. And that's the ombudsman. That is very clear in the Constitution, na ang tawag nga sa kanya, protector of the people. Kaya lang, ang past experience natin with regards to the ombudsman, hindi masyadong maganda, no? Kasi we have seen past ombudsmans na nakakiling sa isang panig, no? So, yun dapat ang tutukan natin, how to prevent that, no? Ang sinasabi ko nga, if President Marcos is really serious about leaving an anti-corruption legacy, ang dapat i-appoint niya na ombudsman is someone who has no connection to him at all.
That's right.
No professional, no personal link to him. Kasi that will tell me na yung ombudsman na yun, who has no connection to him, can perform his constitutional duty impartially and aggressively. No? Na pwede niyang puntiryahin kahit yung mga kaalyado, kahit na kamag-anak ni Pangulong Marcos. Kasi kung ang i-appoint ni Pangulong Marcos ay yung konektado sa kanya, then we can just point to the past, no? The most recent ombudsman na talagang tinatago yung kabahuan na pwedeng maibaling sa Pangulo, no? So that's what we we don't want to happen.
Pero
So,
go ahead, go ahead.
So kung talagang yung sinasabi mo nga na gusto natin ng isang agency or isang independent office to tackle anti-corruption, we already have that. That's the ombudsman. Kaya lang na naha-hijack ng Pangulo lagi by appointing someone who is connected to him or her. No? So dati, we had an ombudsman na chief of staff dati ng Pangulo.
Yeah.
We had an ombudsman na kaklase ng Pangulo. So, nakukompromiso agad. So, kailangan baguhin natin yon. So, we have to demand the President and the JBC na sana yung mga ihahain na candidates yung walang
Independent to
connection.
the,
Pero,
kasi pwede mong
Walang
sabihin,
connection sa Pangulo.
pwede mong sabihin after the term of the President, pwede siya maprotektahan para hindi makasuhan ng mga charges.
pero attorney, mukhang nasa top 3 ng list ng, unofficially, yung bulungan ng mga tao. You have one independent there, aside from si Secretary Remulla, si Kim Henares. I'm saying...
I'll go.
You know what I mean,
Scratch
no?
that.
Parang independent, no link to President Marcos. Si Attorney Kim Henares was one of the top na lumalabas. Ngayon, ang question ko, if you have, hypothetically, have si DOJ Secretary Remulla and Kim Henares there, and another one, do you think there is a chance that the President will bypass this time appointing somebody that's connected to him and go for the independent one? Given the way PBBM has been functioning recently, he's been doing things out of the norm to try to win the people's trust.
I certainly hope so, Diego. But I don't want to say na mag-aabang na lang ako eh. I would rather take the position of civil society pressuring the President. No? Pressuring the President to appoint someone who is really independent, yung walang connection sa kanya. So while I share I can understand yung position mo, yung point mo na given the recent actuations of the President na baka mag-appoint siya ng yung talagang independent sa kanya, I would rather take the position na civil society should pressure him
That's right.
to appoint someone na independent talaga.
Exactly. Now, well, our goal here is not to be swayed by other issues. Dapat nandun lang tayo, stick lang tayo dun sa corruption issue na pinaglalaban natin. But at the end of the day, of course, we want somebody in jail. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Attorney Michael Yusinko. Thank you so much.
Well, we want
Maraming salamat din.
a lot of them in jail.